Oh, good evening again, everybody. So, like I had done a video a little bit ago, and I hadn't had a lot to talk about, other than just talking, and it was, insightful stuff. I hope. But Arizona candidate, Republican for governor, Kari Lake. This looks kind of interesting, because yeah, it was a little bit of a piece that I read, and since she was kind of like she was, of course, doing her thing, running and doing her rallies and all, and she'd been followed around by CNN reporters, and so the CNN reporters, once she got in there and she was doing her thing, they asked her a question. The CNN reporter, one of the questions asked was, "Do you think that Biden won?" And she goes, "I think Biden won just as much as OJ is innocent." And I couldn't believe that. I was like, "Whoa," because that's pretty good stuff. Because that right there, hey, well, you can't argue with that. You know what I'm saying? But we all know what that means. And they couldn't say, well, because then that was perfect. That was a quick fire offense. I don't know if I could have thought that quick when they asked me something like that. But yeah, she's like, yeah, I think that Joe Biden is president just as much as OJ is innocent. And then she went on to say that that she, as the reporter kept asking her questions, she's like, "I can't understand you. Your face mask is making it where I can't hear you. You're welcome to take the face mask down if you want to. I'm okay with that, but for right now, I just cannot hear you." And the CNN reporter kept asking her questions, and the questions pertaining to the 81 million papers that Biden received. She's like, "Really? You believe that?" She was like, started naming off numbers about how it was 100% turnout on mail-in papers and 97% in two other precincts mail-in papers. I went on to talk about whenever they got the images for the people picking processes to be checked, the people in the forensic people picking thing actually noted that they could tell there was subjective changes in the images, and they admitted to adding to the images once the images were sent because they weren't the actual papers. Also, the admission to other evidence of deletion of papers, the shredding of papers. So she pretty much is counterattacking the narrative that's being put out. And the bad thing is that AZ Central down there, man, I read some of the stuff that comes out of the AZ Central, and I'm sitting there thinking, do they not want a country anymore? Do they not want their state? So Kari Lake firing off at them big time, told them to put the crack pipe down and get with it and check up with, really do your own research. She was, by the way, an actual career news journalist for a long time. One of her companies that she worked for was KSAZ, and I guess that's an AZ affiliate. But anyhow, a long story short, she knows the ins and outs of how these reporters act and the propaganda that they put out. So we're gonna. I know that we've got a lot going on. Everybody's like, "What's the point of voting?" Well, we got to vote. We got to get out there and do it. We've got to make them cheat. We've got to make them cheat. So let's not give up on that. So if anybody down in Arizona, keep your eye on Kari Lake. Firecracker she is. I like to see. As much as I hate to say it, whenever Trump endorses somebody, we've got to do our own research. We've got to do our because I wasn't too impressed with Herschel Walker's test when they were interviewing him down there in Georgia for his, part of the, when you're going to be interviewed, you've got to actually, most of the reporters are actually going to try to vet you out. So they're going to go in there and like ask you a lot of questions about your personal life and habits and all that. And if you want to dance around that, just keep trying to talk policy, then people are going to kind of question what is your actual intent because of the fact that, you can preach policy all you want to. Are you really going to enforce it? What's your personal life like? What do you do in your spare time? How do things work? What's your thought process on this? And if you don't want to answer those questions and dance around them, then you can really lose the public's trust really, really fast. So, not to say that Herschel Walker is the bad candidate, but we've got to stay focused on the right ones, even though that we're getting endorsements and all this stuff. People change. People, you can talk to. Everybody knows this one guy that you talk to one day and you talk to the next, he's a different person. So those people are out there. You got to. Everybody. If you don't know a one guy that's like that, the daggone it might be you. But anyways, kind of like that kid in class who smelled like pee. Everybody in school had a kid that smelled like pee in school. But then, and if you didn't, then it was check yourself. But anyways, a little bit of fun there. Anyhow, so Kari Lake, proud of her. I like her energy. I like seeing what she's doing. North Carolina is like a golf ball rolling down a rough fairway headed for a sand trap. I'm telling you, some of the people, I was at that town commissioners meeting uh, last night, and some of the people that were some of those people had been in there so long. One guy had to be hauled out in a wheelchair. Another guy had to be walked down the stairs of the courthouse out to his car because he was so old he couldn't even walk. Dinosaurs, man. Long, been in power too long. Those grassroots people need to start getting it done, waking up and making our voices heard on a small scale, because it's the grassroots that are going to make the most impact. So anyways, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this video. I'm excited. Things are going to happen. We're good. Don't worry. We grow in numbers. God is in control.